it's the real deal. I got lucky that I was able to drive mine here, but same thing, update, dead in the water. Another one just pulled in. We got 3 in a matter of a few minutes. Here's another one. All right, so last night, if you've been following the channel and you own a 4xe, this is gonna be about the new Uconnect update that is basically bricking the Jeep 4xes. I'm gonna tell you what we know. I'm gonna tell you what maybe your next steps are gonna be. I'm gonna tell you some of my concerns. I'm gonna tell you what my next steps are. If you're not familiar by this point, I'll post a link to the video of what's going on. Uconnect pushed out an update and we're having a lot of drivability issues with the 4xe. Moving forward, here's what we know. It seems to be only on Wranglers. It seems to be only 24s and up, so basically the larger Uconnect screen. I am seeing it on 25s, and I know there's 26s on the lot. I gotta imagine we just don't have that data yet because there's probably very few people that own it. It also seems to be that people are looking at to see what their updated version of their Uconnect software is. Now, having said that, I just checked mine this morning, and it's not the updated version that other people are seeing. So maybe the updated version is not the smoking gun, at least the version number. We have a lot to learn. It hasn't even been 12 hours since this happened. There's probably some people that are still sleeping and don't even know there's cars bricked in the driveway right now. So what are the next steps? I'm seeing people that are saying they reset their Uconnect software and it seems to be driving well. We're gonna try that in a second. Right now, mine died 3 times in a less than 1 mile trip in my neighborhood, didn't make it back up my driveway without restarting and nonsense. So mine's in my driveway. Last I drove it, it was, we'll call it bricked, not really drivable. We're gonna reset the Uconnect. Now, should you rush to your dealer and call your dealer? Probably not. For one, it's a Saturday, so you're not going to get a bunch of support. Generally speaking, dealerships have their oil change tax and their, they don't have full mechanics on staff, at least maybe not for the whole day. You're probably not going to get very far today. I got to imagine that the dealerships are scrambling a little bit to learn what's going on, and they're probably waiting for bulletins and announcements from Jeep on how to fix this. So rushing to your dealership Saturday morning or even Monday morning is probably, unfortunately, not going to fix this. Maybe if you got a dealership that you could drop your Jeep off and they'll give you a loaner, maybe. Loaners are tough to come by. That's a whole nother thing. We work directly, very, very closely with Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Fox Lake as their support our group, support us immensely. So we've got a great connection with them. They do a fabulous job on the 4xe, and those techs really know what's going on. So that's my next trip, and I hope to take the 4xe there, but I'm gonna first test around the neighborhood and see if I feel confident in leaving the neighborhood. So my next step right now is we're gonna show you how to reset. I'm gonna show you how to find the version number, but I'm not convinced on the version number, guys. Mine still shows the old version number, and I'm having the issues. So I don't think that's our smoking gun. I don't know. We're learning as we go. This video is going to be pretty raw, I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to take you on the journey of hopefully doing the legwork. If you own a 4xe, maybe you can kind of follow along and see what your next steps should be. All right, so to check that version number, you're going to come in, just push the button twice, no foot on the brake. You're going to come up here to vehicle, mine's already there, and then you're going to go to settings over here, right? And then you're going to scroll this all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to go to system information, and then you're going to go to version information. Now mine says build date, or build number, FCA model year 24 U37.23. Here's the issue I'm having. This seems to be the same number as some of the people are having with the old version. I'm not convinced this is our smoking gun with the issue, but right now it's all we know. So let's see what happens. We're going to try and reset the system here and see if it helps. I still have a check engine light, so I'm still probably under, don't imagine that just to disappear. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this off. I'm going to open the door and close it. What this does is you're going to hear the connector under the back seat disconnect. I'm going to let the entire Jeep go to sleep. This turns off the CAN bus system. We're going to wait about 30 seconds. That light will turn off. The dash will go to sleep. It just makes sure everything in the vehicle, electronic-wise, can turn off. So we're going to pause for a second. Once this shuts down and everything turns off, I'm going to show you what to do now. What seems like an eternity later, the dash is off, the lights are off, the vehicle is fully asleep. They call this a sleep cycle. Without putting your foot on the brake, just go ahead and push this once, okay? Let the vehicle wake up, let everything happen. Now, this is going to be a little hard, but what I want to do is I want to hold power and tune together. and I got holding the camera here, so bear with me. You're going to hold them together until that radio should turn off and recycle. It should be about 10-15 seconds or so. There it goes. So I'm going to let go. Radio is going to reset, recycle. You may lose your Bluetooth connections and all that kind of stuff, but that is what it is. So we're going to let it reset. We're going to bring it back up to speed. There we go. Again, I've done nothing else right now. Just a waiting game. Once this resets, I am going to drive it and see what happens. The last time I drove it, every 3 minutes it would just die on me. So this will be a test. This will be a. It was not like it did it sometimes. It was acting up on me every time I drove it. So just let it load, let it do its thing. So we're waiting here. I'm gonna hit accept. Now I still do have a check engine light, but let's take it for a drive and see if it's any different. All right. So for whatever reason, my camera did not pick this up, but we did the hard reset, which we showed, and it did not work. I actually lost motive power, and then coming back into the driveway, I actually lost power steering. So that's kind of concerning. So what I'm doing is I'm doing another hard reset and another sleep cycle. If you've ever played with that taser, which manipulates various things on the car, the one thing I've learned from that is 2 sleep cycles, it gets the system to do what it needs to do. So I don't know if there's something with the 2 sleep cycles. Sleep cycle meaning open the door, turn the vehicle off, open the door, close the door, let everything shut down. That's sleep cycle. Wait a few minutes, do the same thing again. So I'm going to try that again, and we're going to see if it changes what the outcome is. All right, so here's where I'm at. I reset like we discussed. After my first reset, I still had the same issue. Actually failed earlier this time. I reset again. No. Turn the vehicle off and on again. Went for another drive. No issues. Still have a check engine light, but no failures. So now what I did again is I did the hard reset, power and tune button together, and I did 2 sleep cycles, meaning open the door, close the door, let everything turn off, wake it back up, do the same thing again. So right now it just finished its second sleep cycle. I'm going to run, and we're going to take it for a ride and see if we still get any different failures or we get anything different. I wouldn't think a Uconnect reset would have anything to do with the way it shifts or its communication to a powertrain control module, but I'm not sure what to think anymore as far as what's connected to what. Now I still do have a check engine light. If you were stuck somewhere, the factory reset may be at least a little sense of confidence for you. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have to take some pretty major busy roads to get to my dealership, and I think I would take some different roads. Crossing over traffic, I'd make sure I had all the room, and my only concern though is the last time it failed, I actually lost power steering. Previously, I did not. So losing power steering on top of motive power is somewhat concerning. I'm taking one for the team, guys. We're hopping in the Jeep and we're going to my Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealership, Ray in Fox Lake. These guys are awesome. As a quick shout out, let me show you something. We are giving away this brand new 2025 Gladiator Nighthawk edition, and 100% of the money is going to go to Toys for Tots. This dealership donates it to my Jeep Club, 100%. Absolutely amazing. You don't have to be there to win, and 100% of the money supports Toys for Tots. We are nationally recognized by Toys for Tots. So anyway, back to the Jeep. I'm taking one for the team. We're going to go to Ray. It's a 25-minute ride. This will be the first time out of the neighborhood. I normally feel this sense of anxiety when I am driving my 1947 Jeep Willys, right? CJ2A. When I get to my destination, it's like a sense of accomplishment. You're driving something that's 80 years old. I kind of feel that little sense of anxiety right now getting in this. This is the furthest I've gone. I'm out of the neighborhood, and needless to say, I'm watching my surroundings. If I'm making a left turn, it's gonna make sure I got open traffic. But I'm thinking about the why. Why are we having this issue? obviously maybe there's a glitch in the software they pushed out. But we just briefly talked about that taser. And if you're not familiar with what the taser is, it's this device you plug into your Jeep Mopar product, and you can control various products or various functions of your Jeep that normally you can't. It's an aftermarket product from Z Automotive Technologies. Now, if you've ever played with this taser, after you install it, the first thing they tell you to do is make 2 sleep cycles, like we talked about. If you don't do the 2 sleep cycles, the taser will not work or can cause issues. Now, what I'm telling you this for is they obviously know that there's something with the software that requires these 2 sleep cycles for the taser to communicate, right? Why am I saying this? What if that's actually a thing even for Stellantis software? And let's say in the software update of the Uconnect software that just came through, let's say it needed to make 2 sleep cycles. Now, generally speaking, when I do my software update, I click approve and I close the door and I let it do its thing, and I come out to the Jeep and I never think anything else of it. In fact, I just had an update on my Ram. I hit yes, I walked into the office, never thought about that update again. It did everything while I was away. Well, what happens if maybe it does 2 sleep cycles while you're away, and maybe it's programmed into that software? Did they forget to program 2 sleep cycles into this update? And by doing these sleep cycles, we manually push this update through. Now, I got a check engine light on, but that doesn't totally concern me because generally speaking, a check engine light on will stay on at least till you reset the codes or you have X amount of number of start cycles. You know, the Jeep may have to meet the conditions 5 or 6 times to prove that these issues aren't there. So the check engine light on isn't totally concerning. Maybe it needs 5 sleep cycles and the vehicle has to meet operating temperature 3 times, and then it says, all right, this issue is gone, let's go ahead and extinguish that light. I'm brainstorming. I'm on my way to Jeep. Right now, the Jeep seems to be driving normal. Again, 2 sleep cycles is what I've done so far. I did do 2 factory resets. After my first factory reset on the radio, I still had a failure. One other thing I want to mention I was thinking about is I see a lot of comments. We've posted a lot on our 4xe enthusiast page. If you're not on there, we've got over 30,000 members, and we really come together as a community to help the Jeep community solve issues like these. But one thing I want to point out is someone made the comment is, I'll never buy a vehicle that needs an update. Well, you better go back and start driving the 1947 CJ, because I can't think of any newer vehicle on the road that doesn't get an update. Most of this stuff happens and you don't even know it. Look at Tesla, over-the-air updates all the time. In fact, they've had more recalls than hardly anybody else, but all of them are fixed through over-the-air updates. Updates are a real thing. Guys, these things, updates, it continually is fixing glitches, fixing holes and security problems. Generally speaking, updates are a very, very good thing. So to say I'll never buy a vehicle that needs an update, you better find something carbureted and has, you know, no technology, because short of that, everything pretty much gets upgraded nowadays. Not had any issues. I've had all bunch of different speeds, highway speeds, you know, whatever, hybrid, battery, etc. So the good news is I made it here, pretty much drove like normal. So we're gonna pull in and talk to the crew and see what they have to say, and we'll keep you posted here. But Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. All right, so I talked to one of the techs. He suggested that when they do an update, sometimes if they have an error, they pull the battery and battery cables for 10 minutes and reset it. So maybe that's what our sleep cycle did, but we're pulling into the bay here and we are gonna have them reset the codes and see. Actually, look at guys, I don't have a check engine light. So maybe it just needed those 2 sleep cycles. Wouldn't that be something? All right, so we got the pod plugged in, which is gonna connect to his computer over here. So just for clarification, you cannot Just for video, you cannot go back and put an old software in. You can't.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Which would make sense. Why would anyone want to go backwards, generally speaking,
Yeah,
right?
If you put a lower level software update into the radio, it'll just tell you it's already up to date.
So powertrain codes, we've got implausible data received. That sounds good. So go back to the other screen.
The good news is you don't got any active codes. These are all stored, like you said, the light turned off on it.
Yeah, so the light did turn off. So is it possible that doing sleep cycles helped air out?
I mean, it's possible. Let me see if there's a bulletin on this.
Curious how fast Jeep will be on something. So can you tell, is the software the latest version? Because the version I see when I pull up the code on the software number on my Jeep is different than other people have after the update. So does this tell you if what I have is the latest version?
Do you know what you have?
You have a picture of it.
So I can go to here and
Here, like a perfect example. Do not update on a tow truck. All right, so my code I have is...
So the highest I see is U33.43. You got U37 in there.
All right, so that's...
You got higher level.
I got higher than what you even see. Okay. So in your opinion, this Uconnect update is weird that it would cause these issues, but if it was putting a bad signal into the CAN bus system, it could kind of interfere? I mean, is that a fair statement?
It's possible, because I mean the radio's linked in with everybody, kind of.
So if you've got static on the line, so to speak, right, it could interfere with other stuff.
Yeah, it's possible. Software could be glitchy.
So we're clearing all the codes in the system. My check engine light went off after we talked about earlier. A few probably met certain criteria right before the light goes off. And we're going to clear everything, and we're going to drive it and see. The system looks happy, right? They're all blue.
Yeah, blue's good.
Blue's good, and gray means it's not applicable, right?
Yeah, gray means you don't have it.
Okay, so gray means we don't have it. But before, we had a bunch of yellow in there.
Yeah, yellow means you have fault codes. Red means it's not communicating.
Okay. So blue's all good. So right now it reads good. We're going to drive it and see what happens. But if you're out there and you're getting yours towed, I would suggest resetting the radio like we talked about and doing a few sleep cycles. That made my vehicle drivable. We're just backing out of the shop right now. Did clear all of the stored codes. We saved them in case this thing shows up and it's like, well, what were those codes before? But that's a serious safety issue. So again, if you are somewhere, I would do your hard reset a few times and see if that helps. Well, I spoke too soon, guys. No luck. Resetting everything puts me back in the same spot. It actually just died again on me in the parking lot here at the store. All right, so just kidding. It's not fixed. And we pulled out of service, check engine light came on, and it actually just turned off on me in the parking lot. So we're gonna plug it back in and see what it says. Lost communication with hybrid control module. Improper wake up performance.
Yeah, this is the only one that matters.
That one. There's another one coming in on the hook. It's the real deal. I got lucky that I was able to drive mine here, but same thing. Update, dead in the water. So we've got two here at Ray that we're waiting on Jeep to give us an update with, but another one just pulled in. We got three in a matter of a few minutes. Let's go. What are we doing? So this customer, the 4xe, same thing. She actually drove hers here, but she had to pull over 3 times and restart, and she only lived a few miles away, but she's hopping in a loaner car and leaving it here because it's not safe to drive. So that's 3 since I've been here in a matter of an hour. Here's another one, another dead one. Now supposedly this one says it won't shift. So when it goes to downshift, it won't downshift. So maybe that's not related to the software, but we don't know yet. This is like, it's weird. It's like 5 of these things rolled in a row. So here's the update. I am leaving Ray in a 2026 Jeep Wrangler. No, I didn't trade it in. No, I didn't buy it. Let me drive a 26. Well, my Jeep is left at the dealership. I'm giving you an update Saturday as of like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever time it is right now. Here's what I did. We talked about resetting everything. I thought we had it licked. I thought when that check engine light naturally went off, we were going to really be good. And then when we reset the codes and just cleared it, I thought I was good. When we reset those codes, even though the check engine light was off, I hardly made it out of the service garage. Check engine light came back on and the vehicle shut down again. That was it. Brought it back in and whatever that code was, miscommunication or whatever, came back up. Needless to say, I left it there. Now, while I was in the process of doing some other paperwork, actually writing the vehicle up, because we didn't write it up, he was just helping me out. So actually writing it up for Jeep's purpose, while I was standing there, by the time I left, 5 4xEs came in. Some drove in. Mine drove in. The next lady drove in, like in 2-mile intervals that she had to actually stop, coast, pull over, restart, and she limped her way to the dealership. That's insane. And then 3 others came in on the hook, came in on the tow truck. One came in on the tow truck. Now, I don't know that this is related to the software update, but the issue at hand was it wouldn't downshift. Is there more to this update than we're seeing? Is it just it turns off, or would it not downshift? Was that part of the issue? So what are we going to start seeing out there? Maybe it has no relation. I don't know. But what I do know, as of right now, my software is the most up-to-date according to what they have on their computer. They can't even update it with what they have. So the over-the-air update is the most current one there is. We're seeing different numbers. There's a lot of questions here, and I don't know what the answers are. It's going to be real interesting to see how this really plays out. But we're talking 5 vehicles in a few hours at one dealership. So what does this look like around the country? Now, they were all Wranglers, and they were all at least 24s. Now, while I am in a 26, they did not have any 26 4xEs on the lot, because my next step was to go into a 26 and see if it took the update. And if it didn't, I was going to give it the update, and I was going to see if a 26 got bricked like our earlier ones did. Sorry for the long video, but this was literally like the whole test. What time is it? It's 2 o'clock. I've been at this since, I don't know, 9 o'clock. So I feel like we're really ahead of everything. Huge thanks to Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Fox Lake. Guys, there's already 5 Jeeps there. They will be in the forefront of this. They're not one of these dealerships to be like, yeah, we have no idea what's going on. Loaner cars are going to be tough. You're probably going to have to go through Enterprise. You're going to have to go through a rental company. And you're going to have to, I don't want to use the word fight, but you're going to have to submit your receipt and get payment back for your loaner car. And I don't know, is this as simple as, can we go back? Can we revert? Can we give us the software we had yesterday at 5 o'clock and then figure this out later? Or are we going to wait a few months? It does seem like when there's these 4xE problems, they always seem to come out like late in the year. Usually seemed like it was like November, and then we wait till like January 1st before we see updates. This can't be that. This cannot be, we'll hear about this in Q1 of 26. This can't be that. So, guys, like and subscribe. Sorry for the long video. I told you it was going to be raw, and that's what it is. But this is how this is unfolding, and do me a favor, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Make me feel like this content is worthy for our 4xE family. And stay tuned, because nothing's happening tomorrow, and Monday will be a different day. So we'll see you guys on the next video.